The world of Fallout is quite a different place than our own. This goes for the land we stand on as much as the sea around it, whether it be lost treasure from a forgotten time or simply something fascinating to look at. The underwater world of the Fallout series is certainly worth exploring. In this video, we will be diving into the depths of some of the best nautical finds in the Fallout series, from communities on old boats to hidden enemy submarines. This is Fallout and the Sea. The idea of people gathering on ships is nothing new to the Fallout series. Perhaps during something like the Great War, many people would think to use boats and water vehicles to venture away from land and to possible safety. But as we can see in the Fallout games, that didn't always go as planned. But speaking of ships and boats, I would like to thank this video's sponsor, World of Warships. World of Warships is a free-to-play game and is available for the PC. Take on the world in team-based sea battles that will require different strategies and tactics to win or link up with friends in Division. World of Warships features over 400 historic ships that you can customize to your heart's content as you control them through beautiful maps and unique living landscapes with stunning graphics and different weather systems. Join the more than 44 million players and choose from 5 warship types including destroyers, battleships, cruisers, aircraft carriers, and submarines. Download World of Warships today using the first link in the description and register to enjoy a huge starter pack. Just use code FIRE to get for free 200 doubloons, premium battleship USS Texas, 20 Restless Fire Camouflage, 1 million credits, and 7 days of premium account. So what are you waiting for? Join World of Warships today. In Fallout 2, on the shore of San Francisco, we can find a community of people living on an old tanker. The Poseidon Marine vessel Valdez is a rare thing in this universe as it uses fossil fuels instead of fusion for propulsion. Now, it sits at the docks of a war-torn California, hosting a real variety of characters. These tanker vagrants are outcasts to the ship, which has a noticeably different vibe than the rest of the city once inside. Unsurprisingly, the big dream for these lost souls is to get this ship operational again. In one way or another, it will happen, but most people on board will likely become drifters regardless and have to do business with the She. This isn't the only time we see a community like this either, as while in the Capital Wasteland, we can find Rivet City. This aircraft carrier is home to the largest settlement in the post-war DC area, hosting families, a church, an extensive marketplace, and even a museum. Due to being on a ship and the abundant supply of guards that patrol the area, Rivet City is by far one of the safest locations in the Fallout series. Quality of life may be rough, but it also outshines most wasteland areas as residents get their own rooms and food that is clean of radiation. And while Rivet City is undoubtedly a marvel in the post-war world, just outside Boston, we can find one of the most peculiar water vehicles in a Fallout game. The Yangtze Chinese nuclear-powered submarine that seems to just exist to scare the locals in the Commonwealth. Before the Great War, this sub was positioned to strike the US city with 6 nuclear SLBMs. It launched the destruction we see at the beginning of Fallout 4. While some would say the Yangtze accomplished its mission, it only fired 5 of the 6 warheads it had before hitting a mine and taking shelter in Boston Harbor. The men on board the submarine were either killed or ghoulified due to the reactor leaking because of the damage taken. Captain Zhao is the only one lucky enough, or unlucky enough, to keep his sanity. We can still find the unfired warhead here and even take it ourselves. I would say it acts as a terrific reminder of man's folly, still, it also could be an exciting conversation piece back at the settlement. I suppose beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The man-made structures and vehicles are interesting for sure when it comes to the Fallout universe. Still, we can find bizarre and surprisingly normal life forms in the depths as well. While in some places throughout post-war America we can find seemingly ordinary fish going about their business, we can also find things like the lake lurk, which resembles something right out of a campy 1950s horror movie. These creatures have the ability to use sonic waves as a form of an attack, and their hulking size shows how much strength they actually possess. Mostly traveling in groups, these overgrown fish have some of the most acute senses in the wasteland and will quickly discover nearby prey in seconds. Lake lurks aren't the most mysterious creatures out there though, as some we have only heard rumors about, like Ol' Peg. There are rumors abound in the Commonwealth about an overgrown, ghoulified blue whale in the Boston Harbor. And while we can't find Old Peg ourselves, we can hear the talk of her legend amongst the people at Bunker Hill.
So one day, my grandpappy was egging. It was a foul day. Fog so thick you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. He was stumbling along and then he heard a tremendous clamoring. From the ocean. Like nothing he'd ever heard before or since. He stood still for a long time. The fog cleared for a brief moment, and that's when he saw the outline of the great behemoth. Massive. Bigger than anything you or I will ever see. Old Peg. A giant blue ghoul whale.
The water world of Fallout is undoubtedly an interesting one, filled with terrifying creatures and massive communities. So while it may seem like a good idea to load up on a ship and sail away from it all in the post-war time frame, it may be better to just stick to solid land, as I doubt Old Peg is the biggest thing out there we haven't seen. Thank you for checking out my video Fallout on the Sea. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like down there and comment if you want to see more. Thank you to my patrons and YouTube channel members, but a special thanks to my biggest supporters: Ian Raleigh, Eric W., Popo Hum, JP Rivera, Thomas, Daniel Adelano, Legendary Angel 94, Billy Joe Jimbob, and Edgy. Thank you guys so much. Again, make sure to check out World of Warships down there in the description. I will catch you on the next one. It has been Mantis.
I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day you die, you gon' touch the sky. You gon' touch the sky, baby girl. Testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day you die, you gon'